You know what it's like, you're sitting at a tricky junction and the flipping A-pillar is just where you need to see if something's coming. If only someone could make that disappear. Well, our international safety guardians at Volvo have attempted to do just that in a concept safety vehicle that is simply bristling with innovative, clever safety ideas. Well, Peter, this concept car is bristling with new safety ideas. Show me round, what have you got?
Okay, well, let's start on the inside. The whole point of this car is that active safety is just as important, if not more so, than passive safety. Volvo's been very well known for its passive safety, how to protect the occupants in the event of an accident. This car is designed to prevent the accident in the first place. So the driver has much clearer information coming from outside the car into the car. So the vision is the all-important thing. Now, to start off with, inside the car, when the driver sits in, there's a sensor up here, and it sends an infrared beam into the driver's face. There's a camera which then picks up the reflection of that in the driver's eyes, so that then the seat adjusts, so the eyes always reach the same position in the car, whatever height the driver is. And once the driver's head and his eyes are in that position, then everything is the right angle to see out of. You notice immediately things like the see-through A-pillars.
Right.
If the driver's eyes are always in the same position, then we can design the structure of the A-pillars to be able to be seen through. We have two different seatbelt systems. We're actually using this show to perform what we call a clinic, a customer clinic, and we're asking people to comment on which is the easier to use, which do they feel more comfortable with. The one that comes from both sides, rather like the racing car belts, or the diagonal belt with a separate diagonal from the other side. So we have two fully operational seatbelt systems, which we will take away data from this show on and decide which way to move in the future.
Right, so work in progress here.
Absolutely, we're using the show as a sort of experimental laboratory.
Here in the States there's been a lot of criticism of the larger SUVs because they tend to be the ones that cause most accidents, and it's revealed that the reason that is that for the very fact that drivers feel they're safer and so they don't drive as well. Are you in danger of employing safety features so that the driver feels invulnerable and then doesn't drive as correctly as they should?
I don't really believe in that. I think not to make a car as safe as you can would be wrong. I think we would have to trust that people do drive carefully, do drive properly. They're responsible people. So I think that this idea that people get into a big car and feel totally protected and totally safe from anything, maybe there are some people that feel like that, but I tend to think that people would rather save themselves and their car from having any form of accident. We have a system which is a camera based onto the mirror there, and if the driver just driving along the road on a motorway decides he wants to move out, he's looked around, he hasn't seen this car moving up fast behind, even if he just touches, if he starts the indicator going to move out, a warning will come on, and a red light will flash in here to say, don't move, there is something, something coming up behind.
Well, I think they're all terrific ideas. The one I do find slightly far-fetched, though, is this personal communicator, a device that can measure your heartbeat and tell you whether somebody might be hiding in the back seat when you get in your car. How often has that happened to you, Peter?
It hasn't happened to me, funnily enough. But I think there are incidents, actually, in this country where people have managed to gain access to a car and been lying in wait, let's say, for the owner to come back. So this will tell the owner before he even gets near the car, there's somebody in there. Of course, on the very, very odd occasion when you could forget that you've left your dog, or hopefully never, but a child in there, then that will warn the driver that there's somebody still there.